Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. Limitless Evolution, presented by Carelon Global Solutions in association with CNBC TV-18.
Hello and welcome to this special show, Limitless Evolution, brought to you by Carelon Global Solutions in association with CNBC TV-18. I'm your host, Paromita Chatterjee. Today is indeed an inflection point or a marquee day for the company because, as you may make out from all the balloons around me, they are in a very interesting journey when it comes to rebranding itself. Indeed, today is the day when the company sheds its old avatar of Legato Health Technologies and adopts the new mantle of Carelon Global Solutions. And as a company which has just been in India for the last 5 odd years or so, it has been a very interesting journey, to say the least. They've been pursuing growth aggressively. In terms of headcount, they stand at more than 25,000 odd people spread across 4 countries, and they are known as much for their inclusivity and cultural diversity in the workplace as they are for their innovative work solutions. So let's find out a little bit more about how a relatively young company like Carelon Global Solutions is really undertaking this rebranding exercise. What does it mean for the company, whether it comes to its employees or the kind of innovative solutions that they offer? And we've got 2 very special guests with us. Let me introduce them to you, starting with Rajat Puri, who's the COO at Carillon and President Carelon Global Solutions. Hi, Rajat. Great
Hello,
to have you.
Paromita.
And we also have with us Mosur Saisekar, who's Chief Country Executive at Carelon Global Solutions.
Hello, Paromita.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to meet you.
Great to have you both with us. And as I said in my introduction, that this is indeed a very special day when it comes to the company. And I can see with all the balloons and celebrations around. So, Rajat, what's the celebration all about? Tell us a little bit more about this rebranding exercise that you're undertaking.
Yeah, I mean, today we are officially becoming Carelon Global Solutions. We have been operating as Legato Health Technologies since 2017. So today we are actually rebranding ourselves as Carelon Global Solutions. Very exciting day for us and very proud of that.
Well, congratulations on that transformation and congratulations on the India journey as well. So, Sai, tell us a little bit about that because I understand you set up your operations here in India in 2017 and haven't looked back since.
That's correct. So Carelon Global Solutions today is a very young but maturing organization in India. So we've been around for 5 years and we have grown to about 18,000 today. And we are the fastest growing global capability center in India. And it's not about the numbers. What we have done really better than many of the GCCs is that we have focused on building capability. And capability from whether you take the mainframe technologies or you take the next generation technologies like digital, artificial intelligence, and driving excellence and automation and innovation across the board.
Okay, great. So innovation, I'm hearing that word a lot. And Rajat, we just heard from Sai about Carelon Global Solutions. Now, that's part of the larger sort of group of Carelon, right?
Exactly.
So what does that comprise of?
Yeah, so Carelon, our mission and vision is really to improve the health of the healthcare industry. Within Carelon brand of companies, we have a lot of assets that really focuses on complex and care management. We focus on behavioral health. We focus on analytics and also pharmacy benefit management. Carelon Global Solutions is part of Carelon brand of companies, like you said, and we're very proud of the fact that we are really transforming the digital ecosystem of our healthcare industry, and that's what really Carelon stands for.
Right, and you're really providing services across the value chain, the healthcare chain. so to speak. And Carelon Global Solutions is, of course, a very integral part of that. Now, as I said, you've grown at a blistering pace here in India. So, how do you keep the balance between innovation while also providing a, culturally diverse and inclusive workforce? What were some of the challenges that you faced, and what were some of the wins that you think you've achieved today?
See, first of all, people is at the center of everything that we do. Okay, talent is the most important, and you need to nurture that talent. And we have many ways to do that. Okay? We have hired significant number of people. We provide training, initial training for all of them to become part of the organization. But we also focus on business domain knowledge, technology domain knowledge, and we have this Think Limitless campaign. And it is not just a campaign, it's how we live the brand. That's very important. We want associates to think anything that comes to their mind. We want them to be innovative. We want them to be thinking about process excellence and re-engineering the process that we have. Mm-hmm. We want them to think about new opportunities that they can build, for the organization. So we really have a culture of Think Limitless, and we promote that within the organization. And the talent also has opportunities to build a career within the organization. So there are so many different ways they can build careers, both on the business operations side as well as on the technology side.
Right. In fact, let me take that forward to you. In terms of Think Limitless, just stepping out from the India zone, how are you applying it to the rest of the group?
Yeah, like Sai just mentioned, we have done a tremendous, a journey with India. We also have sizable operations in Philippines, where we have 7,000 plus people. Focus on really clinical operations, our voice operations that we do for our end customers, and then Ireland and Puerto Rico. So the same concepts that you heard from Sai still are there. The different capabilities, though, if you think about Philippines is different than India. Ireland is all about digital, AI, data science work that we do out of Ireland, and Puerto Rico, which is a brand location that we started a couple of months ago, is really providing bilingual customer service kind of skill sets for our end customers. So Puerto Rico is I would say, upcoming location for us. But India, that journey will continue to grow. This growth actually under Carillon brand of companies is actually will experience exponential growth, I would say. So Sai, looking forward to great journey all together with India as well, right?
Absolutely.
Great, and we're delighted that we are part of this journey and learning so much more about your company. So, walk us through a little bit more about India is clearly a huge, it is actually the major player when it comes to your GBS operations. And, you've been chosen as one of the great places to work in. You've won numerous awards. At a time like this, when a lot of emphasis is placed, especially by young employees, on the kind of work culture that exists, how have you managed to sort of stay ahead of the curve?
Fantastic question. Again, creating an environment that is conducive to people to grow is the most important thing today, right? Because people have choices. So people, when they have choices, you need to make sure those choices you offer in your own organization. And that's what we do at Carillon. So we are able to provide those choices, whether it's their career progression, whether it's their learning, whether they want to change jobs within the organization. All of those are available for them to do. We also help them build skills, which is very, very important. We can map their skills and tell them where they are better and where they need to be improving. That gives them the opportunity to really focus on building their skills.
Right, very interesting. And, Think Limitless, as you said, you've applied that campaign internally within the company for your employees as well. But it brings me to the question of attrition. And, especially post the pandemic, there's all this talk, including in the US, about the great resignation. Yeah. Attrition is a problem, especially in pockets. How are you addressing that globally?
Yeah, I think attrition has been a problem. I would say on the onset of pandemic, people really, I think they struggled to cope up with how they have to really cope up with hybrid work environment. So companies like Legato then and Carelon Global Solutions, we had to really innovate in a way we can provide a safe and a hybrid work environment for our employees. And I think that's what we did. And with that being said, I think attrition has eased. because of the fact that what Sai was mentioning, I mean, the upskilling, the really investing in talent and making sure that they're getting what they need from employers like Carelon Global Solutions has given us a lot of benefits. And I think we have arrested the attrition. Not only that, I think one of the things that Carillon did, Legato back then, is invest in our campuses.
Right.
I think that was very important thing for us to really meet the candidates where they were, train them, get the curriculum modified to our advantage along working with the universities, and get them as soon as they graduate from the universities. So that has really helped us a lot as well.
So you've really gone to where the talent is rather than wait for the talent to come to you. And talking about campuses, I mean, we are here in this amazing office of yours. I mean, I don't think our viewers are really getting a sense, but it's full of purple balloons. Your employees are in purple as well. You know, take us through, you know, for instance, this particular campus. You've got several other campuses as well in India. What's that kind of investment been, and how important is it to really create this kind of environment?
So today's workforce looks for flexibility. Flexibility in terms of where they want to sit and where they want to work. So we have a HYBO is what we call it, hybrid workforce. So they have the opportunity to work from home if they want to a couple of days, but also come into the office. And none of these seats are assigned to them. They book their seats. So we give them the flexibility to sit wherever they want to sit. And look at that table. If you look at that table is for a team can collaborate and work together. But if you want your individual space, you can work here and do.
Fascinating. You're giving them flexibility and really caring for the employees, because I have to go back to the term Carelon. You know,
Yes.
What does it mean, Carelon? Why did you choose such a name?
Yeah, I mean, Carelon is really care, as we all know, and lawn is like full. So full of care. And with Carelon, what we are trying to do is address the whole health of the ecosystem. And that's where I think that brand really resonated with us. And as I said, I'm very momentous occasion for us today as we launched Carelon Global Solutions in the India market. Very exciting times. I'm very proud of that.
Indeed, and I can sense the pride, not just amongst the two chiefs who are here, but amongst everybody who's here on the floor of the office today. You're watching our special show, Limitless Evolution. We'll be back with more questions with the top team of Carelon Global Solutions and Carelon in just a bit.
Limitless Evolution, presented by Carelon Global Solutions in association with CNBC TV-18.
Welcome back to Limitless Evolution, our special show where we've been discussing the transformation and rebranding of Carelon Global Solutions. And we've been in conversation with the top management who is here with us. Let me introduce them back to you. Mr. Rajat Puri, who's the COO at Carelon and President Carelon Global Solutions. And of course, we have Mosur Saisekar, who's the Chief Country Executive at Carelon Global Solutions. Gentlemen, great once again to resume our conversation. So we were talking a little bit about, you know, really the kind of rebranding exercise. And this comes in the midst of what's been a very interesting last 2.5 years during the pandemic. So Rajat, let me come to you here, because every company worth its salt has been undergoing this digital transformation journey. Now, you're also undergoing another journey, which is rebranding yourself. But tell us, how does it coalesce with the whole digital transformation journey? And what are the kind of changes that you've undertaken to really embark on this journey?
It's a great question. I think on the onset of pandemic, we all had to really innovate the way how we work. Our employees had to innovate in the way how they actually work. So I think we learned a lot in the last 2 years or 3 years. We have learned a lot. We improvised a lot. And digital transformation has really come along really well and helped us every single step of the way. If I can give a quick example, right? Before pandemic, most of the patients, if they had to go to be seen by a provider or doctor, they used to go to a physical office. Due to pandemic, that actually stopped. They had to really rely on telemedicine. They had to really rely on virtual media and all of that. And I think that was just an example. I think we learned from that. The doctors actually became more comfortable talking to the patient using those media, as well as patients became more comfortable doing the same. So I would say digital transformation has leapt a lot in the last 3 years, and we are still evolving.
Indeed, and you mentioned, telemedicine and teleconsultation. That's something here that's really become very prominent here in India. And as head of, Carelon Global Solutions, which is the GCC side of the business, one of the biggest parts of digital transformation is how companies use data and really effectively having a strategy along those lines. What strategy have you adopted when it comes to the utilization of data?
So we leverage the data that is available from a Carillon perspective, okay, and use the data to provide solutions to our clients. So that's the whole model that we work under. And that's how we use the data for all kinds of purposes. Digitization is one, looking at AI models is another one, and also looking at any kind of fraud prevention, okay. We do a lot of that work using the data that we have.
Okay, so great. So data is clearly at the heart of effectively really utilizing your digital transformation journey and providing those insights. And you gave us some fascinating examples about, telemedicine. Share with us some more ways in which you've been reaching out to your customers and really helping them, particularly along the path of innovation, now that you have reworked yourself as a company as well.
Yeah, I think Carelon, our motto and our vision is really improving the health of healthcare industry. I think that's our clear vision. With that being said, I think the example that I quoted about telemedicine is one of them. The other thing I would say, again, due to pandemic, there's a lot of things going on around mental health. And for that, I think, again, using technology in a way, it's less intrusive, but also really reach the customers where they are, is extremely important. And I think customers are getting really used to the technologies. Instead of going to a physical location, like I said, getting seen by a psychologist is difficult. But when you can have the same conversation at ease at their own home, that actually is really good. So I think that's another example. I think that being said, the complex and chronic care management, that's also like one of the things that Carelon does really well. And that being said, talk about or think about using telemedicine and wearable technologies to see the patients at the ease of their home again, is again like an evolving field. And Carelon is investing a lot in that digital technologies.
That's really fascinating. And talking about investments, and Sai, let me come to you here, because when one makes the kind of investments, for instance, that you have been doing as a company, and typically when you look at the GCC side of things, it's usually seen as a cost center. At least that's how the journey begins. And thereafter, it evolves into moving up the value chain. Where would you say you are in your journey right now, and how have you evolved?
So we have invested heavily on our people. Okay, talent is everything, as I said earlier. We need the right talent in the right location, and that's why we have expanded into multiple cities within India. Okay, we have followed the talent. Okay, for instance, in Bangalore, we have technology talent, okay, as well as business operations talent. We do the same thing in Hyderabad. We have technology talent as well as business operations. We recently expanded into Gurugram, okay, where there is a mix of technology as well as business operations talent. So you really need to put talent in the center of everything, and you need to invest in that talent, okay, because they need to be prepared for driving the innovation that we need and also providing solutions, leveraging the digitization and the data.
Okay, so talent is really at the heart and center of things. And it's not just in India, is it? Because you're spread out across 4 countries. Tell us a little bit about the operations there.
Yeah, so I think we mentioned about India. India clearly is our the largest operations for Carelon Global Solutions. We have operations in Philippines, and we do a lot of work in Philippines that really caters to clinical operations. We do a lot of work from voice operations there. And then Ireland is the third location. We actually set up a state-of-the-art facility in Ireland, in Limerick, doing a lot of data science work, AI work. And the 4th location we just opened up a few months ago in Puerto Rico. And that's really addressing our bilingual Spanish speaking skills in that province. So with that all being said, I would say we are close to upwards of 25,000 people and still growing.
That's fantastic. And those are some, marquee investments that you're making. And as I said, today is a day of, it is a time when you're transforming yourself as a company, and you're really the platform on which you're transforming yourself is Think Limitless. So now that this is the start of a new journey as Carelon Global Solutions, what does Think Limitless mean as you look into the future, particularly for India?
Again, we'll continue our journey, right? People should be able to think and do what they want to do because the opportunities has to be created within the organization. And we need people really to do that, okay? And we provide an environment for them to be able to think and act on that. So it's the environment that you can provide and the enabling tools that you can provide for people to really drive themselves to the next evolution of this organization. And that's the basis of how we operate within Legato here or within Carelon Global Solutions.
Right, and that's the, sort of the view for India. What about the view for the globe? And it might be said that you are actually very interestingly in an investment growing mode in a world which is perhaps seems to be tightening its belt somewhat. Will you still be thinking limitless going on into the future?
That's a very good point. And look, we are a young company. We just started 5 years ago. I would say every single year we opened our new location. In 2017, we opened up Bangalore. 2018, we started operations in Hyderabad. 2019, we started in Manila, Philippines. 2020, we started in Iloilo, Philippines. 2021, Limerick, Ireland. 2022, Puerto Rico. And like you said, I mean, this is just like limitless growth, and we continue to evolve through that. I'm very excited about this.
Fantastic. So the future looks limitless and looks extremely exciting, I think, for Carelon Global Solutions and for the Carelon Group. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. And that brings us to the end of this special show, Limitless Evolution, brought to you by CNBC TV-18. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Limitless Evolution, presented by Carelon Global Solutions in association with CNBC TV-18. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.